Hey Seekers, I'm Jody and today I'm giving you a guide on how to travel to Barra de la Cruz, one of Mexico's funnest surf breaks. Everything from getting there, costs, accommodation, transport, and insider tips, I'm going to cover it all. Let's get straight into it. About Barra de la Cruz. Barra de la Cruz is a small, picturesque village located on the southern coast of Oaxaca, Mexico. It's famous for its world-class right-hand break, offering some of the most consistent and powerful waves in the region. When it's good, it has long barreling waves, particularly during its peak season from May to September. Beyond surfing, there's nothing much else to do here except relax, digitally detox, and take in some of the most beautiful surrounding scenery that is mostly untouched by civilization. Getting there. The best way to get here is by flying into Huatulco Airport, then either taking a bus, taxi, or hiring a car. Bus is the most budget friendly and is 50 pesos one way, but it will only drop you off on the highway, which you then need to walk 20 minutes to get into town. So don't do this option if you have a lot to carry. Getting a taxi is easier and costs about 350 pesos one way. However, getting a taxi back is challenging because it is a very small town and taxis are infrequent. Sometimes they wait for 4 people to make the trip worthwhile too, so you may be waiting around a lot. Keep this in mind if you're taking a flight the same day and allow plenty of time. The most convenient option is hiring a car, which is what we did, but it can be pretty expensive. My partner and I rented a car from a local in Barra de la Cruz for 800 pesos a day. We organised this ahead of time, so he met us at Huatulco, gave us the car, and then he was able to drop us off at the airport when the trip was done. I'd recommend this if you have limited time here and want the most convenient option. However, we were kicking ourselves a bit when we arrived because we didn't realise how small the town actually was, and that there were tuk-tuks to get around and everything was in walking distance. It was a bit of a waste to spend 800 pesos a day just to drive a few minutes to the surf break, but we did feel very spoiled doing so. Having a car also came in handy when exploring other surf breaks. For reference, it's a 30 to 40 minute drive from Huatulco to Barra de la Cruz. The other alternative to getting here is from Puerto Escondido, which is what we did. We took a bus for 135 pesos each and it was really easy and cheap to get to Huatulco from Puerto Escondido. That bus ride took about 2.5 hours. Accommodation. There's a fair amount of basic cabana-style accommodation here in town. The closest you can get to the actual surf break is still a 15-minute walk away, so keep that in mind. There's no luxury resorts here, just simple hostels and share houses. We stayed at Ola Perfectas Big House and it was perfect for what we needed. Plus, we really loved that we could meet other surfers here and make friends. The average cost of accommodation here is 400 to 900 pesos a night. If you want somewhere nicer with better Wi-Fi and facilities, you can consider staying in Huatulco, but it will be a 30 to 40 minute drive to get to the beach break every day. Rooms in Huatulco will cost anywhere from 900 to 4,000 plus pesos a night. Food. If you're planning on cooking your own meals, we highly recommend doing a grocery shop in Huatulco before coming to Barra de la Cruz, as the small shops here are very limited and had only drinks and processed snacks. We tried making pasta, but there was no pasta sauce, and there wasn't really any fruit or vegetables available to buy. The only way you could buy produce here is to wait for the Saturday markets that happen at the local school, but our friend said get in early if you don't want to miss out. But if you're not planning on cooking while here, don't worry. There's a handful of restaurants around, including these ones which I recommend. Expect to go to the same restaurant often as there's not many options, but we did enjoy them and it was great to socialize and bump into familiar faces from the surf. We paid on average 150 to 200 pesos per person per meal. If you're on a budget, I highly recommend Pepe's. They have some cheap meals for 50 to 100 pesos each and I loved their 50 peso veggie burritos. Transport in Barra de la Cruz. If you don't have a car, consider renting a motorbike, or you can also take a tuk-tuk in town for very cheap, like 18 pesos I think it was. We found there was often a tuk-tuk waiting in the car park ready to take surfers back into town, so we were kicking ourselves that we spent a lot of money per day on a car when it wasn't really necessary. Everything is walkable if you're willing to walk 15 to 20 minutes at a time. Sometimes this can be a bit tiring in the heat after surfing for hours, but a lot of people were doing it. Other fees. Entry to Barra, 100 pesos a day. This is a fee to cover car park, road, restaurant, shower and toilet maintenance. You only have to pay once a day and can re-enter with your ticket as many times as you wish. Surfboard rental, about 20 to 25 USD a day. We brought our own boards, so we're not really sure the exact prices for this. There's surfboard hire at most of the hostels and also the beach. Other tips. ATMs. There are no ATMs in Barra de la Cruz. Make sure you bring enough Mexican pesos to cover your trip, plus smaller bills and coins are handy. Don't bother with a SIM card. We bought an eSIM, but there was no reception to use it, so it was a waste. It was only convenient for Huatulco and having maps to drive here. Wi-Fi is very limited and can cut out a lot, so keep this in mind if you're planning to work. There's a restaurant and showers at the entrance of the beach, so you can spend all day hanging out there if you really want to. There's also a guy that sells wax, Snickers and merchandise if you want any of those, but keep in mind that they overcharge for wax. It's best to bring your own if you can. There's a ding repair shop on the beach as well. Breaking boards here is super common, and I saw at least 5 people break their boards during our 1-week stay. I don't know the price, but our friends were able to put their board into the repair shop and get it back a couple or a few days later. For this reason, people seem to bring a spare surfboard just in case. Surrounding surf breaks. If you rent a car or scooter to check out surrounding surf breaks like El Mojon and others, be aware of privatization and Mexican cartels. We expressed going to explore, and thankfully our friend told us not to go by ourselves because we could get fined or robbed. If you want to go to any of these surf breaks, do your research and consider paying for a guide. It's pricey, about 500 pesos per person, but it's just how it works around here. Finally, this is our cost breakdown of how much we spent for 1 week in Barra de la Cruz. Thank you for watching, and I hope this guide was helpful in planning your next trip. Barra de la Cruz is now one of my favourite places on this earth for its incredibly fun waves and beautiful scenery. If you have any questions or have been there yourself, please comment below and subscribe if you want to see more surf guides like this.